Guys behind us, by the way.
Oh, on me.
I'll get you. Oh, right up, and I got hit from somewhere. Still one more guy there. Did you get him?
My bad, I got you, bro.
No one coming, no one coming. Nope, we got this. Nope, here one.
Got him.
Alright, nice job. Alright, let me go ahead and start this. Guys behind us, by the way.
One more.
What the fuck? God damn it. I should have saved you there. I gotta use my non-mechanical keyboard for doing these recordings, or else it's too noisy, and so this keyboard's a little smaller than the regular keyboard, and so I tend to push wrong buttons at times.
Alright.
It's kind of shitty. Alright. I'll go ahead and start this right now. Oh, I just got team. God damn, I got team balanced? God damn it. Did I get auto team balanced? God damn it. Well, I'll play against you, and then when I, go, we'll go. You're already down.
All you gotta do is look at the scoreboard. I'm already 20-2.
Holy shit. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, it's daskro again, and it's time for another CGL 8v8 Draft League interview, this time with Fabo from Team Reprise. Fabo is one of the infantry players in this event, and he's been playing Battlefield 3 competitively for quite some time. So, Fabo, how are you doing?
I'm good, daskro. How goes it, man?
Not too bad. We're joining this TDM server, and we couldn't get in the same team. The admin switched me, but it's sort of interesting that I'm just getting dominated. Now I'm, 1-2, and yet you're already 20-4. Holy moly, you're going fast. Nonetheless, though, you're shooting a lot of dudes real fast here. What kind of gun setup are you using?
Right now I'm using the M16 with a Cobra, but I'm gonna try to fucking use the SKS a little bit. I feel like recon is something that is underutilized and that you could really benefit from the use of it.
Why do you think that most teams shy away from recon?
Well, because, I don't know, the gun selection isn't all that good if you don't have players that can adapt to using those guns. But, I don't know, like, some teams, it's a shame that the shotty isn't used more. That would be a good gun that I'd like to see used, but, some teams just run scopes with red dots and stuff, you know? It's just, it's player preference, like, really, but like, if you're designing strats and stuff around being able to use things like the tugs and the spawn beacons, and, you know, not saying that, like, parachuting isn't important too, like, there's just so many things that you can benefit from using with recon.
Oh, no doubt at all. And I'll tell you that I would like to see recon and support class utilized more often in competitive play. That's one of the, when I see teams play, it's mostly either primarily an assault mix or primarily an engineering mix, depending on what map it is. And I personally, I'd like to see more variety.
And really, it's a shame that they kind of gimp the NG class, because where's our AT-4s? We need our guided missiles. Like, where's the fun in shooting down a chopper now? It's just insane luck.
It is.
Just give me some, those were fun times, and you would have some really good frag highlight movies from those. Why can't we see that with this beautiful engine, you know?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it is quite a, as these patches come out, the sort of gameplay changes and things like that. Nonetheless, though, it's hopefully as new patches come out, they will try to strive towards more of that balance.
Yeah. Well,
and the round ended, but we'll keep on playing as we record this. So tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you start playing competitively, and when did you start playing Battlefield?
I started playing BF2 like fucking 8 years ago, I think. Right when BF2 really came out and competitive was taking off, I played on some pub teams, you know, and then I went into hostile faction at one point, and then we played Cal Maine there, and I was with the dead presidents, and we just played at a high level, and it was fun, you know, like.
Why? You got in during Battlefield 2, and played quite some time competitively. What made you want to play competitively in the first place with Battlefield?
Just that competitive nature and just that feeling of winning, you know.
It certainly has a lot more sort of authenticity about it relative to just playing at a pub. Because with pub play, there's so many more variables you have to worry about, such as that random guy who chooses to be a sniper and doesn't even engage the enemy, just is up in a hill, or the guy who doesn't know how to fly a helicopter or drive a tank around.
Oh yeah, it's great because you can rely on the guy next to you and you know what he's doing in a sense. Like, he's not just pubbing it up. There's a set goal and everybody's working together to achieve it.
I definitely relate to that. It's when you take me down, I'm trying to get the revive on these guys. It takes away some of those variables, and you start playing with people that you really build relationships in the sense of camaraderie and of understanding their gameplay style and sort of learning from them. I mean, were there any players in particular that you sort of played with a lot in BF2 or even in BF3 that once you sort of got a rhythm down, it was really just a fantastic synergy?
I didn't really keep in touch with a lot of the players from BF2, but in COD 4, I've known guys for like 5-6 years from that game, like Chad and Zufa.
Oh yeah.
Hate to admit it.
Well, Zufa, for those that don't know, is an old school Battlefield player who has a lot of history and has a lot of street cred in that respect as well. So shout outs to Zufa on that one. It's sort of fascinating that for some of these people that follow you around and vice versa, you sort of jump to the same games and you can sort of bring that synergy to each of those games and really have an impact, as a team and be successful in that respect as well.
Yeah, and it's amazing how quickly you could make like good pickups and good teammates come to you when you really look for.
Yeah,
like right now, we just really came together and we're playing as a good unit, and we got like a 4-win streak or a weak win streak. Granted, they weren't but we're on a high streak. We're gonna keep going, Oh,
I understand that, and it really is pretty interesting how much of an impact 2 or 3 good players that have a lot of competitive experience playing with each other can do to a team that may otherwise be considered average or underwhelming. It's those synergies build upon each other exponentially to the point where you have teams that can execute in ways that many people would even view as cheating because they're so good. I mean, it's almost like sort of the amazement you see when you watch the Harlem Globetrotters, for the first time. There's a little bit of theatrics to it, but they have a certain skill that's very remarkable.
Yeah, it's like legal hacks, man. If you got a good team working together, you know where everything's happening. And
you mentioned you know where everything's happening. I think that's a huge deal that a lot of people undervalue. It's one thing if I'm running an aimbot, or not an aimbot, but like a wall hack, I can see where all the dudes are, and I can try to use that to my advantage. And even if I'm a bad shot, I can pre-fire them when they're coming around the corner or something around those lines, or try to surprise them and kill them. But within game communication, it feels a bit different. I mean, what are your thoughts on sort of the importance of in-game communication and sort of what it can do as sort of a force multiplier, when you're playing?
Oh, I feel that it's like a very big thing that teams really need to focus on. Like, that's really what good teams utilize, and that's what makes them so great, is because they know exactly what's happening at all times, and if you got good strats and stuff like that, you can predict where people are and what lanes they're going to play. And then with good comms, like, you could just alter your strat at any time. Like, if you're playing defense and they're hitting one side, all you gotta do is make one call, you know, and then you can adjust. And plus, like, I fucking made some ridiculous predictions. Like, it got quiet for a minute, so I just said check the water on nose hair, you know? So it's like one of those things.
You almost sort of get a, I don't want to call it like a sixth sense or a spidey sense, but you sort of listen to that comm rhythm, and you look in the map, you take in the information that you can see, and conveying that information to your teammates and vice versa. And you get to the point where you really can predict where people are going to be.
Yeah, it is like exactly that.
It's really kind of, I mean, and that's why when people say, "Oh man, this team's hacking," no, they are communicating so effectively, and they understand. They can understand each other, understand their positions and their positions relative to where the enemy could or couldn't be. That they can intuitively and very quickly at that figure out where everyone is or where everyone couldn't be, and you can sort of make decisions of why you should or shouldn't peek certain corners because you reasonably know where the enemy could or couldn't be. It's very interesting to think about in that respect, and it's sort of hard to articulate unless you've experienced it firsthand. What other things about playing as a team other than the communication side of it are really important? And strats, tactics, confidence or trust. What are your thoughts on those?
I feel that if you got a good strat and if you got guys that are knowing what they're supposed to be doing, that you can really adapt to any situation if you got the good group around you and somebody that can make those calls, And then having a good shot is always important, but there's good players out there that don't always get the shot, but they're able to just
still be successful.
Like be that spawn beacon, or be that spawn, make that call, And
I think you really highlight on something is that you don't have to be this sort of ace quick shot to be good at this game. If you're an effective communicator and you can think on your feet about where the enemy could or couldn't be, even if you're not going to be able to get that headshot, you can still be useful. And I think that's important. I really do. It's almost like, do you remember back in Battlefield 2 the commander role?
Yeah.
So the commander role. For those who don't know about the commander role was this spot that you could spawn in on a given team, one spot per team. And in a commander role, you could spawn in and you could deploy artillery. You could deploy unmanned assets that could basically, like a MAV that couldn't be destroyed easily, and it was very much sort of a defensive role. I mean, you as a commander, you essentially had a third-person top-down view of the battle, and you'd convey information to your team, and you'd try to help out. And if you were in the back of your base, and the back of your base would be attacked, you could jump out of the commander's role and try to fight it. But it was a very different role than sort of the face melter role that we traditionally think about when we think of infantry players. Did you have any? Did you ever play the commander role yourself, or at least try it out, or at least try to get those kills in the artillery?
In the pub, yeah. In the pubs, I definitely loved playing commander, but I was more one of those people that would fuck up all the commander's shit so that he couldn't use it against me, because that was a really good asset. Like, if you had a good commander, that could sometimes be the tipping points in games,
It can be, because one of the really cool things about the commander is that the commander could drop this big supply crate. Think of it as like maybe 3 times the size of a med pack here in Battlefield 3, and it would float down, descend from a parachute, and from there it would not only give health to the nearby people, but you could drop it near vehicles, and it would also auto repair the vehicles, and that was really cool. And if properly used, vehicles were just unstoppable because they'd basically be getting repairs constantly. It was So a good commander was really something. But to your point, all the commander's assets, which are basically these UAV towers, artillery cannons, stuff like that, you could blow them up. You could actually go into their base and blow them up. You could blow them up; it gives you an advantage. I mean, when you played Battlefield 2, how big of a deal was it for you to destroy those commander assets?
Oh, you'd always have like somebody trying to mess it up. If you had choppers, you would try to destroy it. If you had planes, destroy it. And sometimes you could just send a dude down there with a jeep and then try to work a strat off a back flag cap, you know?
Is that one of the things that you miss about Battlefield? In Battlefield 3, we don't have much back capping.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that could definitely be utilized in this version for sure, but I mean, I guess it's just too much thought process for the modern gamer to like develop or something. Like,
it's when people, for people that don't know what we're talking about, in Battlefield 2, most of the maps were like these conquest assault maps that we see with Sharky, Karkin, where each of the enemy bases can be capped out to the point where you can't spawn back in and you're in trouble. And that was normal for most Battlefield maps back in Battlefield 2.
oh yeah, that's how you played it, you know? Like,
And so this idea of base raping didn't exist back then because any base was fair game. And so when a lot of people, I mean, when you're in pubs, how often do you get accused of being an asshole for base raping?
well, in this game now, like every round because they always get capped.
Because I'll tell you that there's so many people that have this that say, hey, you shouldn't be base raping. But for a lot of us old timers, it's something that we're used to doing. Something we're used to. It's part of that method. It's all changed now. Nonetheless, this round went fast. Holy moly! But what I will do is, I do want to ask you a little bit about CGL real quick. So, Championship Gaming League AV Draft. You're on 666 team, and you made in the top 8. And so, what are you looking forward to it? What are your impressions of the CGL draft this far? And are you excited about it?
I'm very happy that it happened. I knew that games like COD 4, they would have draft nights every other weekend or so. And to have a league and to get people to work together, I think that'll be really good for the community and to bring new players into the game, which is what we really need in order for the competitive community to keep growing.
I think you're right, because it's providing this variety for the competitive players, but also for the new players that want to get interested in the competitive side of things. I think it's really, I think it provides a really nice opportunity for people to play and get used to playing with a caliber of players that you rarely experience often in public servers. I mean, we're all sort of used to, playing with some people that are very average players or are not taking the game that seriously. But when you play with an entire team of players who to use a colloquialism, play the fucking objective. Those that do the PTFOing, it's a big deal, and it really is a lot more fun. Are there any players that are on your team that you're looking forward to playing with in particular?
I know Macaulay is a really good tanker, so I'm expecting good things from him.
Yeah, I'm interested in playing against him too, because I'm going to be in the tanker, one of the other teams for that matter.
And then I gotta give a shout out to my homeboy Ruko, And then,
Ruko's been playing. DJ Ruko's been playing for a long time in Battlefield, and so it's always cool to see him, play in events as well.
Yeah, but I really feel that we got a really good team. We can pull this off.
Oh, no doubt at all. Now, I want to bring this to a close. So, what words of advice do you have for gamers that are interested in playing competitively or want to play in the draft or other events of that nature? What advice do you have for them?
Always have fun, because once you stop having fun, what the fuck are you doing? If you're not having fun while you're doing this, then you need to reevaluate why you're doing it. Nobody likes drama.
You're the first person I've interviewed who has said that, and I think that is so important, because I mean, to play at the sort of top tier of competition, you have to dedicate a lot of time to it.
Yeah.
And if you don't enjoy it, you do need to reevaluate things, as you know, as you put it. You really got to question it. Anyway, we're gonna bring this to a close. Any shout-outs?
Shout out to Reprise for sure. Zoro, Nkog, Zex, get the fuck on, nigga. And then Tefra, I'm gonna get you to play in a match one of these fucking weeks. Alright.
Sounds good. Oh my god, a lot of guys here. So ton of dudes here. We'll just play for a few more minutes, but Fab, I want to thank you for talking with me. This was a very fun interview and getting some really good insights through this dialogue. So thanks again, and let's just play for a little bit longer and call it a night.
Yeah. So what do you think of your draft team, man?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm playing with Kaiser's team, and we got some really good infantry guys. I mean, I'm not as good as some of the first round picks of the tankers, but you know, if I have a good support team, I'll be fine. You know, we'll see. Man, I am just playing bad today. 3 and 4, not even a positive KDR. I feel like a Momo here. Not good. I guess sometimes we have good days and bad days. I really want to use this 93R though. And now, not going to work. I'm playing around the 93R. You know, suggested to me to try it out, and so I'm sort of getting that rhythm down of that burst fire. What pistol do you like using?
Oh, I love the Magnum. Oh, I can wreck faces with that. Like, there's some highlights in my frag movies on YouTube if you've seen that, and I just pulled one off, so. Dude was across the street, and only his head was on the roofs. I love this game. But, like, if you practice with weapons like this, like, just go into a random TDM server, just practice with the weapon, and get better at it. Then, of course, you're going to get good with a weapon, you know?
Oh, I agree, and it can be frustrating at times that you're not doing good and you want to use another weapon, but yeah, if you want to be good at another weapon, you really got to practice it hard.
Yeah.
I'm just doing terrible. I want to at least get a neutral KDR before I stop this, because it is embarrassing.
Oh my god, I'm negative. Hold on.
We're both negative. I think we're just talking too much.
I'm such a scrub.
Well, you went a crazy KDR last time around. And for those that are still listening, KDR isn't everything. It's just that there's a certain amount of pride to it.
Yeah. But I just suicided. I caught my own nade. Oh my god.
Got a 2-for though.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm not doing bad. Getting back in the rhythm. I really want to get that kill.
Oh, you would.